I have to believe that when you establish believe as the theme for this campaign, you probably weren't aware of how poignant that is given the journey of this stadium and the stops and starts. We wouldn't be here today celebrating this if there weren't a lot of people that believed in this initiative. This belief has spanned many, many years now with a lot of stops and starts, some premature celebrations, and a modicum of heartache along the way, trust me. And some of the people that believed in this initiative aren't with us any longer, whether it's university or otherwise. But I don't want that to minimize their role in this. There are a lot of people that have been involved over the last 15 years, and Mark and I were talking earlier, and I remember many of them, one of which is Ed Fish, who I'd like to recognize, because if it weren't for Ed's fervent belief in this, we wouldn't be standing here today either. You know, but make no mistake, everybody here today had a major role in this happening. Whether it was philanthropic or support, helping to strategize the financial plan to support this facility, conceptualizing the bricks and mortar, lending consensus to this project, or simply some much needed advice. And God knows I needed advice along the way. It's all to be appreciated, and I thank you hugely for that. And most of all, for refusing to let this dream die. There were many moments that a lot of us felt this wasn't really going to happen. But I could look out here and see many of you that believed in this. You weren't going to let this dream die, and here we are today. It's really quite surreal for some of us. But there's a select few among us today that were so integral in this happening, and this absolutely wouldn't happen without them. First and foremost is Tom Eriks and his family for their lead gift for this project. Tom had to leave early today. He was here for the foundation board meetings. I got to spend the evening with Tom. We had a little celebration, a groundbreaking with Tom last evening, and I just want to acknowledge his lead gift, and his generosity has been fabulous. And most of all, John Lilly brought Tom back into the fold at UNH. He had been disassociated for a long time from the university, and now he's on the foundation board. He understands the vision, and it's a great asset for the university that Tom Eriks is with us now. Secondly, Service Credit Union and the leadership of their president, Gordon Simmons. They're our most valued partner in athletics. And Gordon and his staff has understood the vision. They are really appreciative of what we do for the student athletes and believe in that, particularly the academic prowess that they exhibit. And it's exciting times. And Gordon, thank you. Thank you, Service Credit Union, for your support as well. And most of all, somebody that's very special to me, Morgan and his wife, Tara Rutman. Morgan has been with us in athletics from the start, and we've had a lot of discussions over the years that I've been here, and he's always seen what we see, and to build this place out and to fulfill its great ambition. So Morgan, I want to thank you. Morgan's gift was the first major gift in this campaign for this stadium, and that really energized us and energized other people. So Morgan, thank you so very much. I caution to use this word because I think it's vastly overused today, transformative. But I would offer this, that this facility is going to be as transformative for this university as the key projects were in the decade of the 2000s, and most recently the build out of the Paul College. It's going to have that kind of effect on people, not just people attending athletic events, but perceptually it's going to have an enormous effect on the university. That facility sitting over there is going to become a major gateway for the university. I wouldn't call it the gateway, but obviously many people attend campus coming off of 95, coming down Route 4 and coming off the bypass. And that will be the first thing that they see. And it's also going to be an extension of our mission. And we'll get into that later. I know President Huddleston's going to talk about that. But in every way, it's going to emulate the mission and our ambition and be a bricks and mortar identifier for what we try to accomplish every day. But most of all, it's our hope and ambition that that becomes every man's stadium. And by what I mean by that is every man in the state of New Hampshire. We want that to be completely accessible for everybody in the state to enjoy. It's their stadium. We're already doing a lot of that by inviting the NHIAA football championships here. They had a great experience. And it's our ambition to have all the high school championships in this facility. And what that's going to effectively do, what that effectively is going to do is bring tens of thousands of people to this campus and give them a great impression of what campus is, and hopefully they'll be matriculating their sons and daughters at the University of New Hampshire. But most of all, and I don't want to overlook this and minimize it, I want to acknowledge all our coaches and athletes who have dedicated themselves for years, for decades, to excellence and divine representation of this institution. Without them and their success on the fields of play, this facility wouldn't have been realized either. Their performances on the field and in the classroom have really captivated people and inspired people to give to this. So let's give a hand to our coaches and athletes as well. Because of their efforts, for the first time in UNH athletics history, we're finally going to have the facilities that embody the excellence of what our coaches and athletes do every day. And that's really, really special for all of us that work with the deserving students. Most certainly, none of this would happen without great leadership. And I'm really blessed as the athletic director to have a fabulous president who saw the need, but most of all, that's a bad omen. Morgan, that was your shovel. Sorry, Mark.
That's all right.
Early on, when Mark went through the strategic planning process and I was privileged to be part of it, he identified this as a necessity and had the courage and the conviction to stand by it. He was the first president I served under here that did that, and it would not have happened. So, Mark, we can't thank you enough on behalf of all our students and coaches. And the second individual you'll hear from today, Andy Leeds, is a special individual. I don't need to tell all of you that. You know Andy, trustee emeritus, longtime chair, one of the people that helped with the key program that really transformed this campus. And I could say unequivocally, without Andy's help and assistance, this wouldn't have happened either. And he's been a mentor to me and was very, very influential in this happening. So Andy, thank you so much as well. So without further ado, before wrecking anything else, we'll have President Holston come up with some remarks.
Thank you, Marty. I'm not even going to try to fight with the wind in my nose, but somebody said when I walked in, what a beautiful night for this event, and my response was, what a beautiful event for this night. And Marty said to me when I walked in that we do this once every millennium, you know? Which is about the time scale for this stadium. It's only 80 years overdue. I remember my first experience with the UNH football stadium was back in the 1990s, I think. I was at the University of Delaware, team football fan at the time, and followed their games. And they were actually on the local cable channel when they were playing up here in Durham, where I had never been. And so I kind of sat in my seat and tuned in, got ready for the game, and the image came on the screen, and I thought, why are they playing a high school stadium? And it turns out it was Kyle Field. And little did I know at the time that all the high school stadiums in New Hampshire were better than Kyle Field at the University of New Hampshire. So when I finally wanted to, Marty's right. I knew from the get-go that one of the priorities had to be to build this stadium as it should be built. And it wasn't easy, as Marty said. A lot of stops and starts, but we're going to get it done. And as Marty said, I think the goal has always been to provide a facility worthy of our athletes. And I wore tonight a ring that I don't deserve, but that our athletes won this year as CAA champions. And some of whom are good. Some of our football players are playing in their athletes. And holy smokes, if they can do that, surely we can do this for them. And what I don't know, Marty said I was going to talk about our mission. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but what I can talk about, is what I think this will do for us, and why we're doing this. We're doing it in part because a bunch of us like to watch football games, and it'll be a nice place to watch football. But that's not really the reason. reason really is that it provides a facility, as I said, that is worthy of our athletes. It'll make recruiting a whole lot easier, I think, for Coach Mack, who was just a fabulous example of what UNH is. Each get a round of applause here. If there's only one person that really has transformed this program and made us all motivated to want to do that, it's Coach Mack. Thank you. But for our student body in general, we've seen an enormous change in the last couple of years. I mean, the St. Which our kids get fired up and show up at these games. Peter Wilkinson, who was at commencement, and we saw as a leader of that group. It'll transform their lives. It'll transform the lives of our alumni and all the folks attached to the foundation who are trying to help us raise money. It'll just raise our game. And that's just wonderful for the University of New Hampshire. But as Marty also suggested, it's not just about the University of New Hampshire, it's about the state of New Hampshire. And even though the state doesn't always recognize it, we're really good for the state of New Hampshire. And we're in there pitching and doing things to improve the state of New Hampshire, even when they don't seem to be ready to do it for themselves. And this will provide a space for high school championships. It will provide a space for Special Olympics this next week. As is our tradition, we're going to have 1,000 kids here on this field, and we're going to now have a new stadium for them that will be worthy of their efforts. So we're really proud of that. So I was never always absolutely sure when we were going to get it done, but I knew we would get it done at some point. I'll stop. One last reminiscence. I can remember sitting in my living room with Ed DuPont and Lou D'Alessandro, and Andy Weeks, and I know it's it, right? And we were trying to figure out what to do with the money that we were going to get from Ed Fish to leverage that and make it happen. And that didn't happen, but the rest of the project did, thanks to the commitment that all of you showed. And even though it's not going to be ready for the games next year, it's going to be rising as we're playing, and it's going to inspire all of us. It'll inspire all those guys on the field. So thank you for making this a reality. Really appreciate it. And let me introduce my very good friend and one of the real spark plugs for this project, Mr. Andy Weeks.
Well, thank you.
You probably wonder what happened here. Last time I saw you, I didn't have this apparatus. I just tell you, that's what happens when you miss a block. Coach Mack doesn't take to that too well. Let me start off by saying, welcome to the dungeon! In the fall of 2016, I look forward to all of us enjoying a great new fan experience in the new dungeon. Now, I've had assurances from Coach Mack and the other coaches that our opponents will not have the same pleasurable experience. In fact, all of us will be able to enjoy seeing the likes of the Maine, I want to say Black Bears, and the Villanova not-so Wildcats leave with their heads bent low after another really terrible defeat at the hands of our Wildcats. I remember my first football and basketball experiences here in the 1980s. We had very good athletic events, but it was less than perfect as a fan experience. It wasn't really very comfortable, as I remember. I can still remember porta potties, a very cold coffee, extremely muddy parking, and then for basketball, when it was inside, the plumbing in parts of the building didn't work when you wanted it. But we did see great events. In the early 2000s, when I became part of the University System Board of Trustees, I had a chance to meet with our then very new athletic director. And we discussed how we might support athletics, increase student interest, and enhance the fan experience. Now, it's taken the last 14 plus years, but great strides have been made in all these areas during that time. Just walking around the field house and the stadium complex, you can feel, see the invigorated Wildcat athletic experience that is there for all of us. First and foremost, our student athletes have made us proud on the fields of play, in the classroom, and in their and our communities. Terrific young people being led and shaped by great coaches and a superb faculty. While there are many more things to do, the Fieldhouse and Stadium Complex has seen many improvements using some very limited financial resources. The walls were painted. Athletic and team photos were hung. The basketball venue was painted. Jerry Azuma, former football player, financially supported a new weight training facility. A sports medicine and physical training facility was established with some university funds. A lot was done with very little capital. Outside, the playing and practice fields were upgraded with artificial turf and lights were installed. And on the practice and playing fields, in front of the practice and playing fields at the WIT. Speaking of the WIT, earlier this month we announced that a new center of the arena, video scoreboard and dashboard would be installed at the WIT. Thanks in great part to a lead gift from John Small. Now it's important to note that as part of this major upgrade, Coach Yamili has committed to smile once a game.
I don't believe it.
He has committed once a game because I promised him that when it was done, he was going to be on the center of the screen in living color and high definition. Now the football field and the track were also upgraded with a major financial gift, as was mentioned, from the late Ed Fish. Lighting was installed around the stadium complex, with state capital funds spearheaded by the efforts of Senator Lou D'Alessandro. Most recently, the Watkins Center for Student Athletic and Academic Excellence was dedicated in our field house, with major gifts from many of you who are in attendance. It became proof that we could fundraise larger amounts for athletically focused projects. But as of 2 years ago, we still had no resources to upgrade the dungeon itself. With the support of President Huddleston, that the athletic stadium complex was a university facility priority, Marty Scarano put a small group of Wildcat supporters together in a committee to rethink how the stadium complex could be improved and how funds could be raised to accomplish all of this. Tonight, we are celebrating the work of that committee and all of you in this, the groundbreaking for our new athletic stadium complex. It is truly a public-private partnership. $5 million of private funds have been leveraged with an internal loan of up to $20+ million of university system funds, which has allowed us to move forward. The committee of Dave Brownell, Arnold Guerin, Mike Hickey, Kerry Chandler, Diane Metcalf, and Brenda Holt-Mulaney of the foundation worked together with President Huddleston's staff, the Chancellor of the University System, Todd Leach, and Pamela Diamandis, the Chairperson of the Board of Trustees for all the trustees, to develop a plan for this complex, to raise awareness and build support for that plan, and to get everybody positive about that new stadium complex that would replace the West Side stands that we so love. Now this complex, it's been said, will be transformative, and I really believe that. It's going to be a state-of-the-art venue. It'll have high school athletics, which is a big part of what we want to accomplish, and other cultural events. It's going to be a place to welcome visitors to UNH. I believe it will truly be a gateway to UNH. And it's going to reflect our university values of excellence in all we do. All of you can be proud tonight of what has been accomplished. In the fall of 2016, you'll have a great fan experience in the new dungeon as we cheer on our Wildcat student athletics. So thanks to all of you for making this possible. Go Wildcats!
Thank you, Andy. I don't know about Coach Millie. I know Coach Max smiles about once a quarter. Hey, Sean? So at this time, we want to formally break ground. So I'd like to ask Gordon Simmons if you can come join us. And Morgan and Tara, would you come join the President and I?